smart. They care for one another.
Back it goes, and that ball is out of here.
If you keep fighting, you give yourself a chance.
It's certainly been said before. We'll say it again. Cleveland rocks, and they've watched the Indians roll into the postseason. And now the Tribe will try to silence the booming bats of the Boston Red Sox. Tonight's 2016 American League Division Series coverage on TBS is presented by T-Mobile. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Cleveland. Ernie Johnson along with Ron Darling. Ron, it was the last week of the season that determined where this series was going to be played. Boston was in control, but then lost 5 of their last 6. Cleveland won their last 3. They host this best of 5, but they are missing a couple of members of their starting rotation. And for that reason, a lot of folks are looking at this series and saying, well, Boston has to win it, don't they?
Yeah, it's going to hurt missing those 2 starters. But I think even more importantly, these are some of the reasons that I think this is really going to be a great series. You have Terry Francona, who I think is one of the best managers in postseason history ever. He'll be working his ball club, but it's going to have to be the players that play well. Game 1 starter Trevor Bauer has had some games that you have to see, and he's had some games that are almost unwatchable. He's going to have to be really good. Their strength of this team is their bullpen, especially after adding Andrew Miller. And the hitter to watch, who I think is going to make a name for himself in the postseason for these Cleveland Indians, Carlos Santana.
When you talk about offense, the conversation basically begins and ends with the Boston Red Sox leading all the major leagues in these categories. And Cal Ripken, when you look up and down this order, well, there's not a weak spot.
Yeah, it's almost ridiculous. They're number 1 in almost every category. But John Farrell calls this offense a very athletic offense. They steal bases, they take the extra base, and yes, of course, they hit home runs. But there's one thing that I noticed in this age of striking out, and everybody seems to strike out a lot. Take a hard look at the first 4 hitters in the Red Sox lineup. They don't strike out a lot. Big Papi, 537, only 86 Ks. Mookie Betts, 672 at-bats and only 80 Ks. These guys grind out their at-bats, makes it very difficult for the pitcher.
Trevor Bauer will be the pitcher for the Cleveland Indians tonight. He'll be opposed by the guy who led the major league in wins and wears that number on his back, number 22, Rick Porcello. We'll be back with the first pitch as this best of 5 gets underway from Cleveland.
This 2016 ALDS telecast on TBS is brought to you by the Lincoln Motor Company and the exhilarating new Lincoln MKZ. By Papa John's, the official pizza of Major League Baseball. By PNC Investments, for the achiever in you. And by Samsung Pay. Turn your phone into your wallet.
Welcome back to Cleveland. So good to have Sam Ryan as part of our team throughout these playoffs. And let's go down and check in. Sam?
Oh, thanks a lot, Ernie. Good to be here. And, you know, this is the Red Sox and the Indians. This is also about Terry Francona against his former team, managing the Red Sox from 2004 to 2011, leading them to 2 World Series championships. And now he wanted to keep the focus on the field, on his players, but he knows there's history saying there are people in that dugout that I care about. John Farrell, his former pitching coach and good friend. David Ortiz, Dustin Pedroia, who came up his rookie year under Terry Francona, said he makes you feel special in every aspect of the game. It's like battling your family. And speaking of family, just moments ago, Terry Francona's 82-year-old father and former Indians outfielder Tito Francona with his son by his side. They're at the ceremonial first pitch. Now, he told me he wanted to get it right. He went out yesterday and threw 25 practice pitches, guys.
And I'll tell you right now, that was rich. That was just a wonderful moment here. And Terry and Tito and walking off the field with the son with his arm around his father, and just wonderful.
25 practice pitches. Well, I guess we know where attention to detail, where Terry got that.
Let's take a look at the batting order tonight for the Boston Red Sox. Dustin Pedroia leads it off, then Brock Holt, Mookie Betts, who could be the MVP, or could be David Ortiz, the cleanup hitter. What a swan song this has been. Hanley Ramirez is the first baseman, Xander Bogaerts at short. Jackie Bradley Jr. is the center fielder, Sandy Leon behind the plate, and the youngster Andrew Benintendi bats ninth, plays left field. Here is Trevor Bauer.
Well, Terry Francona was talking about Trevor Bauer and said no one has more confidence than this young man. He wants to be in these games. I was talking about good and bad. He's had 10 starts this year where he's allowed 1 or fewer runs, but he's also had 7 starts where he's allowed 5 or more. 13 base on balls in the first inning is his worst of any inning. He's going to have to try to get him here through the first. Here's a defense for the Tribe. Crisp, Naquin, and Chisenhall in the outfield. Lindor, real special young talent at shortstop. Kipnis. The first baseman is going to be Mike Napoli. Carlos Santana will be your DH, and Roberto Perez behind the plate. There's Jose Ramirez. He's the difference for this ball club. He had to make up for the loss of Michael Brantley, and he has offensively and defensively.
Dustin Pedroia has stepped in. Here's the first pitch of the game by Trevor Bauer, and it's a strike. And when you think about this Cleveland team and you talk about Carrasco not being available and Salazar out of that starting rotation, they've already overcome the loss of Brantley. This has been a very resilient team, and one that's kind of fed off of, look, they say we can't do it, let's do it.
Well, I think that's what Terry Francona has done his entire career as a manager. He concentrates on who he has, not who he doesn't have. Good curveball there from Bauer. Good sign.
Yeah, Pedroia way out in front, a ball and 2 strikes. To right field. That could be trouble, and it is over the head of Chisenhall and right. Pedroia digging for second and in on his belly with a leadoff double.
Mr. Cal Ripken, you talked a little bit about their 2-strike hitting, didn't you?
Absolutely. They don't strike out, and Pedroia loves the ball that's up. He stays back waiting for that slow hook, and all of a sudden he says, oh, that's a high fastball. He tomahawks it down the right field line, over the head for a double.
Boston this year has averaged with 2 strikes, 209. That's first in the American League.
Now here's the third baseman, Brock Holt. He takes a strike 0-1.
Brock Holt's job is to pull the ball to the first base side to get Pedroia over to third base. Number 2 hitters normally can right-handed push the ball over there, but left-handed, you really got to keep your body out of it and kind of use your wrist a little bit more to pull the outside pitch.
Ran it inside and missed. A ball and a strike. Bauer is a guy, when you'll hear this description a lot when it comes to Trevor Bauer, is effectively wild.
He is. He's a guy that sometimes when he gets in trouble, he wants to throw the ball through a brick wall. He's better when he sinks it and uses that curveball more.
One ball, 1 strike. Pedroia with a lead, and now he's looked back by Bauer.
Ramirez is in pretty tight at third base. Another option, if you want to do it this early, is to lay a bunt down towards Ramirez. Then nobody can cover third. Pedroia can walk in. But by swinging the bat, you get a chance to have a big inning, not just playing for 1.
That's his ERA in the first inning. Terry Francona talked about he's the kind of guy that we somehow got to massage through the first couple of innings. If we can, he can go on to have big starts.
As he was with Pedroia, Bauer ahead in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Breaking pitch in the dirt. A good job by Roberto Perez. to keep it in front.
Well, Roberto has been outstanding. They haven't gotten nearly any production offensively from their catchers. Perez, though, is their best defensive catcher. You see on our screen the midges or the insects might be in play tonight.
I'm coming up to the booth if that happens.
The 2-2 on the ground into right field, base hit. Pedroia around third. They'll hold him up right there, and they're at the corners with nobody out.
Great piece of hitting by Brock Holt. What we talked about, his job is to pull the ball on that side, but he pulls it sharply through the hole, which now then opens up a potential big inning. If he gave himself up on a bunt and sacrificed an out, then you'd only have Pedroia at third. But now you got first and third, no outs.
That's two-strike hits by this pesky Red Sox offense. Bauer tried to work Holt in when Holt was trying to pull the ball to get Pedroia over.
Yeah, I was going to mention that to you, is that there's a foul ball here on the away pitch. Now, pitching wise, you might want to pound him away to prevent him from doing just what he did.
Mookie Betts steps in, and what a year he has had. 318 with 31 homers and 113 runs batted in. He might be the MVP in the American League, and he takes upstairs 1-0. Road to the World Series about to begin. Let's Do It Red Sox, the social media offering from Mookie Betts, who turns 24 tomorrow. Bauer misses again. 2 balls and no strikes. It doesn't get any easier. We talked about this with Cal before the game. After Betts, you've got Ortiz and Hanley Ramirez and Xander Bogaerts and Jackie Bradley. Go back to what John Smoltz used to say about always when he had a start in the playoff game, circling the guys you thought were outs and should be outs. Hard to do against this club.
You know, you make a good point, Ernie, because many times you look at the guy behind you as your form of protection, but the guys in front of you and the guys behind you can also. So if you have a really good lineup, that offers protection throughout the whole lineup, not just for one hitter.
2 balls, 1 strike. Bauer to Betts. Threw it past him, 2-2.
Boy, that's 2 balls up in the strike zone on the outer part that he threw right by Mookie Betts.
This is a Boston Red Sox team, but while they score a lot of runs, don't strike out very often. 3rd fewest in the American League, and this guy hasn't struck out in his last 78 plate appearances. But he struck out here for the first out.
No mystery there, Cal. Got behind 2-0 and just went right after him.
Yeah, I just wondered, Betts' swing looked a little long. Or maybe it's the excitement, the adrenaline, the first at bat to get it out of the way of the playoffs, and he got a chance to drive in a run. His swing just got a little long and threw the fastball right past him.
That brings up Big Papi. His final season at the age of 40. I liken this to like a golfer shooting his age. Guy at the age of 40. 315, 38 homers, 127 runs batted in. He tied for the lead in the American League with Double E, who we saw the other night, Edwin Encarnacion of Toronto.
Ernie, you always shoot your age at some point out there. Ortiz 4 for 5 with a home run off Bauer.
Always leave them wanting more is also what you could call that graphic. Man, what a season for David Ortiz.
There's a handful of players in the history of the game that leave the game on top. A handful, and Ortiz is one of them.
Runners lead from first and third with 1 out. Popped him up. Napoli in foul territory. Bauer has a chance to get out of this unscathed.
Did you guys have that ball foul or fair? Did it come back fair?
Foul.
On the third base side, you can't really tell over there.
Glad we could help.
That's one of those plays, if it is fair, you can just let it drop. Ortiz is standing home plate.
There's not a starting pitcher in baseball that wants to start a postseason game with the first 2 hitters on. But if somehow Bauer can get out of this inning, what an incentive to this entire Cleveland Indians team.
Pedroia doubled, Holt singled, Betts struck out, Ortiz fouled out. Here's Hanley Ramirez. Well hit to the gap in left center field. Pedroia can trot home. Brock Holt is around third. They're going to wave him. Here comes the throw to the plate. He is safe. And the Red Sox have jumped out to a 2-0 lead, though the Indians may want to take another look.
Roberto Perez, the catcher, thinks he got Brock Holt early in that play. You cannot throw a high fastball to Hanley Ramirez. That is his strength, and he covered it. But Tyler Naquin has the best arm in the game, and here's the play at home. Roberto Perez got him, it looked like, on the knee.
It's awful close. Is his hand on when he touches his back leg? I think he got him right before his hand got in there.
That's Brian Knight, the home plate umpire, making the safe sign.
That's a heck of a tag if this turns out to be an out.
The Indians have challenged. Headsets are on. Communication with New York.
Well, you see the fundamentally sound Cleveland Indians getting that ball in. And watch the tag. Yes, he got him in the knee before his hand touched the plate.
Wow.
This should be an out call.
What a play. What a tag.
Challenge. And the call overturned, but a run still in. Boston on top, 1-0. Welcome back to the American League Division Series. The batting order for the Indians, Carlos Santana is the DH. Then Jason Kipnis, Francisco Lindor, what a young talent he is. Mike Napoli, the veteran, hits cleanup. Jose Ramirez may be the MVP of this team this year. Lonnie Chisenhall in right, the veteran Coco Crispin left. Tyler Naquin, who began that relay in getting the third out in the top half of the first, bats eighth, and then Roberto Perez will hit ninth against 22-4 Rick Porcello.
Porcello came up as a 20-year-old with the Detroit Tigers. Sort of had to learn how to pitch in the major leagues. Asked John Farrell why the success this year. He says it's his time.
There is John Farrell, who in his first year guided the Red Sox to the World Championship in 13. That pitch got him on the foot. And Porcello, who prides himself on control, plunks Santana. Hey,
yeah,
Cal, how about the relay?
A lot of good things about this relay right here. Didn't get to the fence, but the ball to Lindor was high enough where he can just catch it and keep his momentum. He had a quick, fast throw to plate, but the great play right there was in the catch and the tag. Unbelievable play at home plate.
And you saw Perez immediately motion to the dugout that he knew he had put the tag on just before the headfirst slide.
Yeah, on Boston's side, Holt had a really great secondary. Ball never got to the track, and he gave him a chance to score a run right there.
Here's Jason Kipnis. Santana with the lead at first.
I mean, obviously Porcello's been great all year with those 22 wins, but the Red Sox have averaged over 6 runs per game for him, but he hasn't allowed a run in the last 15 starts in the first inning.
And quickly Porcello ahead, no balls and 2 strikes.
How has Porcello changed early in his career? I think he tried to break the radar gun most of the time with a four-seamer. He now controls that sinking fastball, which has changed his career.
Number 2 in the American League in walks per 9 innings, just a shade over 1. And he makes quick work of Kipnis for the first out. Porcello in this 22-4 season didn't lose a game from May 18th through August 2nd. And even after that loss, went 8-1 down the stretch.
Good late sink on that last pitch at 94 miles an hour.
Well, here's Francisco Lindor, the shortstop.
Late in the season, Lindor was struggling. He went through a period where he was 0 for 27, but 3 for his last 8 with 6 RBIs. Getting ready for the postseason.
Finished the year hitting .301, 15 homers, 78 runs batted in. Out of the shortstop position. No balls and 2 strikes. Cannot help but like this guy when you meet him. So engaging, and he's still just a kid, just 22 years old. And in fact, his mom still lives here during the season, cooks for him a lot. Sometimes he brings leftovers to the ballpark, lasagna being his personal favorite. Stays alive right there.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I'm saying it's mine. In fact, I asked him at BP yesterday. I said, give me a recommendation in the city for the best lasagna. He said, my mom's house.
I don't know about you, Cal. My mom stopped making lasagna when I made it to the major leagues.
No balls and 2 strikes. Ran it inside, just missed as he nibbled at the corner.
I was fascinated what John said in our managers meeting beforehand was when he switches from 2-seam to 4-seam, and it's supposed to put the 4-seam up, that he can find it right away. It used to be a problem you didn't find that in the first pitch, but now he can flip-flop back and forth and find either pitch.
Oh, big breaking pitch. And back-to-back strikeouts for Porcello.
Well, really, this is what Porcello does. He throws hard enough to get you so defensive to cover that fastball. And that was kind of a hanging curveball, but because of the change of speed, it got Lindor.
Yeah, he was way out in front of that, expecting something much harder.
So Santana's still at first after being hit by a pitch to lead it off. And here's Mike Napoli. Safe to say the Indians aren't here if this guy's not here. No balls and a strike. Napoli, who got a ring with the Red Sox. And now with the Cleveland Indians. And what a year. 34 homers. Knocked in 101. First time in his career he's gone over 100 RBIs.
He's one of those guys you have to stay out of that area. Do not throw it fence high. Napoli, one of the best high ball hitters in the game.
Fence high. We saw that shift a minute ago, and many times I won't disagree wholeheartedly, especially with 2 strikes, but there's not a chance in the world Napa's going to hit a ground ball with that side of the infield.
Well, not on purpose anyway. 25 of his 34 home runs are up in the strike zone.
Porcello delivers an 0-2. And after the hit by pitch to lead off, 3 straight strikeouts for Rick Porcello. Don't miss Game 2 of the Toronto Blue Jays and Texas Rangers, followed by Game 2 of this series, the Red Sox and Indians, starting at 1 o'clock tomorrow on TBS. Boy, did the Toronto Blue Jays, on the heels of that dramatic wild card win, go in and take a chunk out of the Rangers in their place today, 10-1. Man alive. Did not see that coming.
Yeah, Marco Estrada was outstanding out pitching Cole Hamels.
Xander Bogaerts leads it off in the top half of the second inning and takes a strike from Trevor Bauer. Quickly ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Bauer works a lot more quickly these days than he used to.
He works quickly, tries to sink the ball and cut it more than he did before, and uses that good curveball.
A little nubber up toward the line, and Bauer gets him by a step. Umpires for tonight's game: Brian Knight is behind the plate, Phil Cuzzi at first, Tony Randazzo at second, and Paul Emmel making the calls at third. Down the lines, left field Bill Miller, and on the right field line Vic Carapaza. So to our knowledge, this doesn't come from Elias, but it's the first postseason game that has 3 umpires with double Z's in their last name. Here's the guy who has the action figure name, Jackie Bradley Jr. Ball and a strike. Jackie Bradley Jr. had the longest hitting streak in the American League this year, 29 games. One off of the pace set by Freddie Freeman of Atlanta.
He's had more happen to him in his young career than just about anybody else.
Oh, you're right, Ronnie.
Jacoby Ellsbury, when he signed with the Yankees, the heir apparent was going to be Jackie Bradley Jr. after a great spring training, and he struggled like most young players do. But he has fought tooth and nail to get back, and he had a great season this year.
Strike 3 called at the letters. 3 down. Trevor Bauer, before the game, got the earphones in, and he's stretching out the arm this way from the warning track in right center field to close to the foul pole in left. And Cal, what you gauge that as?
Yeah, I had it 316 feet. It takes
4
2 guys
inches.
to get the ball back to him.
Exactly. He used to go foul pole to foul pole and has a rigorous way of stretching before a game, and he's about to set the Red Sox down 1-2-3 in the second. We head to the bottom half in Cleveland. Live every postseason moment with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. It's the only place to get it all: live radio feeds, video highlights, pitch tracking, StatCast, and much more. Download At Bat today. At Bat to lead off the bottom half of the second, Jose Ramirez, who takes a strike from Porcello, who is dialed in after plunking Carlos Santana in the foot when he led off the first. He struck out the next 3.
I said before, Ramirez was a big part in making up for the offense they lost, and Michael Brantley to shoulder surgery. Played both left field, third base.
He hit .312, good for number 7 in the American League, and he hit at every spot in the batting order during the season.
60 extra base hits for Ramirez.
Well, 3-1 from Porcello.
I mean, that's just like a new ball player.
I think they call that stepping up. Count full.
Well, taking a 3-1 count or behind in the count, Porcello is not going to be good. Doesn't walk people.
He barreled that to the gap in right center field, and it's off the wall. And he's sliding into second with a leadoff double.
So you can take that 3-1 pitch right down the middle if that's what you're going to do on 3-2. He gets the fastball up a little bit, drives it to right center field, hits the base of the wall, cruises into second for a double.
Cal, looked like a bad cutter. Ramirez last year with 2 strikes hit a $160. This year with 2 strikes, $275. What a difference.
So Ramirez representing the tying run at second for Lonnie Chisenhall. Swinging at the first pitch and fouls it back.
We talked about Boston's offense and a little bit they're running and taking the extra base. Cleveland runs the bases, they steal. And they steal third quite frequently.
No balls and 2 strikes. Ramirez has swiped third 9 times. Rajay Davis not in the starting lineup tonight, and the American League leader in stolen bases has stolen third 13 times.
You can't go to sleep on him with no outs, but normally no outs is not a good time to try it.
Base hit center field. Here comes Ramirez. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's wide. Safe at second. Tie game.
Great read right here by Ramirez at second base. He's off right away, knows it's a base hit. Jackie Bradley's got a great arm. Comes in and throws a bullet to home. Chisenhall continues to hustle and gets to second base.
I think what they're contesting here, did Chisenhall slide through the bag, and did the tag stay on him? Did he come away from the bag at some point? They're going to check it.
Busy night so far for Jerry Davis and Chris Conroy and Kerwin Danley and Adrian Johnson in Chelsea, New York in the replay center. They've already overturned 1 call on the field. That came in the top half of the first, when Brock Holt was called safe and then overturned and called out.
Well, I thought Chisenhall beat the throw. He came in like a cannonball.
He had a lot of speed coming in, but it looked like he came away from the bag.
His hand went over the bag, and at that point, his body wasn't touching the bag with the tag still on him.
I thought he beat it on live speed out here, but in slow motion, it looks like they almost even had the tag on him.
He beat the tag, but watch, did he stay on it?
Yep. He's out. He didn't stay on the bag, I don't think. There it is.
Boy, I don't know if there's enough to change that. I really don't. I understand what you're saying, that his body came off the bag and the tag stayed on him, but he beat the throw there. They might not change this. I know what you're saying, though, Cal.
Yeah, one angle shows that he did hold the tag on him, and then the other angle showed him off the base.
So another challenge and another call overturned. Chisenhall out at second.
You don't get many high fives when you get called out, but certainly deservedly so there.
And Francona said this team really does run the bases, and they run their bases smart and aggressively. That was a smart play, just couldn't hold the bag.
There's Coco Crisp. Coco's played in 31 postseason games, 20 with the Red Sox in 07 and 08. He's part of that championship team in 07, 11 games with Oakland. And he came to Cleveland, traded by Oakland at the end of August. Played 20 games. Hit a couple of home runs, 8 runs batted in, and a .208 average. Breaking pitch fouled away. Guys, here's just for my 2 cents on that, that's the one thing about replay. It's the one call that I really have an issue with, because a lot of times it is just a guy can beat a throw, his body can come off by a quarter of an inch, and only with the super slow-mo can you say, well, hold the tag on him. I just think that's the call that when I see it overturned, I say, really, is that the spirit of the replay?
I am with you exactly. I think he had the bag. Because you can see it in super slow-mo, he might have lost touch of the bag for an instant, but he's in the vicinity of the bag and has acquired the bag, in my estimation.
Yeah, I disagree with both of you.
Yeah.
I think he should have to hold the bag.
Well, if I say if you overslide it, sure. But I think if you, Cal, if you right now did a replay and look back at maybe Lou Brock stealing bases back in the day, and if you had super slow-mo, you might say, oh, look, his foot popped up just a hair, he's out. I think if you beat the throw and you are on the bag or in the vicinity, as Ron says, and you don't overslide it, boy, it's a hard thing to overturn to me.
Yeah, the base is there, and it's there for a reason, and your slide coming in, if you're sliding too late, that's a problem for you as a runner.
He didn't slide too late.
I understand, but a slide should be able to stick on the base.
Okay. Sometimes I think in simple physics, your body may just come off for just an instant. I just don't like it, Cal. And we agree to disagree.
When you're rounding the bag at third base and you want to touch the corner so you can get a push off, is it okay just to be close to the base?
No, but I'm saying you've been on the base here. You were on the base. He made contact with the base. He didn't overslide the base. He was still there. That's the one I have an issue with. I mean, it's no biggie. You know,
and it's not a force out. It's not like you're at first base. You can run past it. You got to slide into and hold it.
I know. I wish you were still playing. You might have a different attitude.
I never liked the neighborhood play either. I always thought you need to touch the base on a double play and you need to tag the runner.
I know. Meantime, Tyler Naquin is at the plate. Good-looking rookie. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It's the literal side and the accuracy side for me.
The loose and strict interpretation of the baseball constitution.
Stay tuned for more. He strikes out Naquin. That's 4 on the night. But the Cleveland Indians get a leadoff double. Ramirez scores, and we are tied. Follow Bleacher Report on Instagram and get the coolest sports content before anyone else. That's what it says right here on the card. Coolest. Join millions of others. Follow Bleacher Report on Instagram right now. Top half of the third, Vinegar. Fun-filled game so far and exciting, and the guys up in the replay center busy. A couple of challenges. And Andrew Benintendi leads it off for the Red Sox. He's their number 9 hitter. Just a kid, 22 years old, and he's made a splash in his first season.
He's the next Super B to go along with Betts and Bradley and Bogarts. 151 minor league games, 38 doubles, 107 RBIs with 20 home runs.
He was the college player of the year when he played at Arkansas, and just turned 22 this summer. Three balls and no strikes, and there's Bauer pouring one in, 3-1. Again, working quickly, and that one is leaving quickly over the wall in right center field, and Benintendi has given the Red Sox back the lead.
Cal, you talked about in the open, you can't even relax on the 9th hitter.
Yeah, no nerves right there. He just walks up there calmly and hits a home run. Gets a 3-1 ball right down the middle of the plate. Nice extension. Ball gets out of here quick.
Breaking pitch to Pedroia, misses 1-0. Benintendi had some flowing locks here this season, but got the big haircut. No Samson effect here. Hit that ball a ton. Pedroia tried to check his swing, but he went. Ball and a strike. Pedroia had a 2-strike double his first time. Scored the first Boston run.
He had him out in front of that breaking ball the first time too, and then tried to sneak a fastball by him.
How about that the lumber he's swinging these days, specifically the handle of that?
Yeah, the handle is not a typical round handle. It's got an axe handle to it, which takes a lot of pressure. I got one of his bats over here right now. I guess I'm going to have to return it after the game. It's pretty nice.
Be nice of you.
It's
breaking pitch fouled away.
It's designed to take the pressure off that knob sticking in your hand, like right back here. If you're around here, it gives you a chance to grip the bat with the knob, but then takes the knob out of the middle of your hand down here, takes the pressure, and allows you to follow through much cleaner.
Remember, he's had wrist surgery, he's had thumb surgery, he's had pinky surgery.
And I think the story is the first time he tried it, he hit 2 home runs in a game, and so we're superstitious type players, so I think he'll always use this bat. It feels really comfortable in your hand, though.
Breaking pitch fouled up the third base line and out of play.
Is that something you would use, Cal, you think, if you had it in the day?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure that you put in. Hitters develop calluses if you hold the knob down there with the round, and it pinches. And after a while, it just seems to put pressure down in that area. So, sure, I think this is a great idea. Feels great in my hand right now.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Pedroia waiting on Bauer. Steamy right 3 called. 1 down here in the third.
Every once in a while, a pitcher will make his pitch. There's nothing you can do, no matter how much fight you got in you. Perfect pitch. They're down and away from Bauer.
Here's Brock Holt. Singled his first time. Tried to score on the Hanley Ramirez double, and originally was ruled safe at the plate. The Indians challenged, and it was overturned. So instead of a 2-run first and possibly more off of Bauer, they were held to 1. The 0-2. Breaking pitch missed.
You know, we highlighted the first 4 hitters not striking out too much, and so far Betts has struck out and then Pedroia just struck out. But Pedroia's at bat was really indicative of what I was trying to say. He's putting his nose in there. He fouled off a lot of pitches, made the pitcher work. Finally, Trevor made a pitch and got him out.
In the air to left field. That'll be routine for Coco Crisp. 2 down.
I was talking about him before. Benintendi is just, you know, other than probably the Chicago Cubs in the National League, the Red Sox have the greatest combination of young talent and Bogarts and Betts, Bradley, Benintendi, Blake Swihart. I can keep on going.
How big a thrill must that be for a 22-year-old making his postseason debut and homering in his first at bat?
Feels the same as Mark Trumbo did.
Ball over. 0-2. Big message board here in Cleveland begging for noise. Huge crowd obliging. Last time they had a playoff game here in Cleveland, it was the wild card game 2013. They were shut out by Tampa Bay. Grounded to short. Lindor throws him out. But the Boston Red Sox reclaim the lead here in the third. Andrew Benintendi got it all and put it in the seats and right. American League Division Series coverage on TBS is presented by T-Mobile. Bottom half of the third. Red Sox leading the Indians 2-1. And Roberto Perez, the number 9 hitter, takes a strike from Rick Porcello.
Nine and 9 so far for Porcello, the strike thrower.
Two balls and one strike. Yan Gomes is on the Cleveland Indians postseason roster. Not starting tonight. He still has a broken bone after being hit by a pitch during a rehab assignment. He had been rehabbing an injured shoulder, was just about to rejoin the team, and in his last rehab game gets hit by a pitch. They didn't expect to have him back, and he came back in the last week of the regular season, homered in his first at bat at Kansas City last Sunday, and is on that roster. Perez getting the start here in game 1. Breaking pitch, missed. Count full.
Well, that's why at the deadline the Indians tried to acquire Jonathan Lucroy, who passed on coming to the Indians because of the lack of production by the Indians backstoppers.
The payoff pitch in the air, down the line and right, and out of play. Well, Perez himself, no stranger to injury. He broke his right thumb, had some ligament damage in a play at the plate. He had to have surgery. That got back in April. So he was held to 61 games and only hit 183. This one is hit well to right. Back toward the track, and that ball is gone. Solo home runs by the number 9 hitters on both sides. And we're tied again.
Yeah, it's a good show of opposite field power. Works the count back to 3-2. Gets a pitch right down the middle of the plate. And look at the leverage right there, driving it out of right field.
I don't know if it's adrenaline, but that's a couple of times now that Porcello has tried to come into righties and he's missed out over the plate.
Breaking pitch stayed high to Santana, who was hit by a pitch his first time. But then he watched Porcello strike out the next 3. Again, the breaking pitch misses.
Porcello so far in this game here in the 3rd inning without one of his weapons, the breaking ball.
Fouled over there by the Cleveland dugout and out of play. So this is a weird game already. We've had a couple of challenges, 2 calls overturned. We've had number 9 hitters making their postseason debut, each homer. And we see Terry Francona and John Farrell, who are as close a couple of friends as you can possibly get in the opposite dugouts. Breaking pitch into the shift. Pedroia throws him out for the first out.
Pedroia had to use his shortstop's arm, throwing from way out there in right field.
Now here's Jason Kipnis, who struck out his first time. There's a curveball over 0-1.
Kind of has my old stance, or one of my old stances.
Yeah, which one? That ball is tattooed. Deep right center field and gone. Jason Kipnis, a solo home run. And the Indians have the lead.
Really nice, short, quick swing right here. Packs a lot of power to right center field.
Kipnis was blown away in his first at bat by 3 fastballs. Curveball and a changeup by Porcello cost him there.
The Indians lead at 3-2. Lindor takes a breaking pitch that goes all the way to the screen. 1-0. This kid's phone is blowing up. He got that home run ball by Kipnis.
Pedroia, the de facto captain, in for a word with Porcello.
Lindor goes deep to right. Back to the track, to the wall. That ball is gone. The home run derby is broken out here in the bottom of the third in Cleveland. 3 solo shots.
Carl Willis out to speak to his pitcher. We said before the game, second best offense in scoring runs in the American League with the Cleveland Indians. They might have to outslug the Red Sox. They have so far.
Yeah, Ronnie, I'm not sure. It looked like from the side that might have been a changeup. You know, trying to get an off-speed pitch over because he hadn't got the curveball over.
Cal, you're absolutely right as the bench goes crazy. Last 2 changeups, home run by Kipnis, home run by Lindor.
And here's big old Mike Napoli, who hit 34 bombs in the regular season. The saying here in Cleveland is party at Napoli's. In fact, had it inscribed on his bat for a while. That ball is like 10 miles high and might hit the Quicken Loans Arena where the NBA champion Cleveland Cavaliers play right across the street.
Leave it there. I'll pick it up on the way home.
This place is Toronto loud right now. Porcello fields his position and flips to Ramirez for out number 2.
One of the strengths of Porcello this year in winning 22 games. Yes, the Red Sox scored a lot of runs for him, but when you look at his repertoire, he's a guy who doesn't walk anybody, he strikes out a lot of hitters, and he keeps the ball on the ground. That's one of the rare ground balls he's had already.
The left-hander Robbie Ross is up here in the bottom half of the third.
A lot of people would have lost that bet. What bullpen would be up first, Cleveland's or Boston's?
Jose Ramirez waiting and taking 2-0. Two balls and a strike. These teams played 6 times in the regular season. Boston winning 4 of those 6, 2 out of 3 in each ballpark. They outscored them 31-18. This ball in the air to deep left center field. Bradley goes back, leaping, and he made that catch against the wall. Some balls really well hit in that frame. 3 of them left the yard. Perez, Kipnis, and Lindor. And the Indians lead. Reminds me of one of those old baseball cards from the mid-'60s that would say Fence Busters at the top, and they had 3 guys in it. And Perez and Kipnis and Lindor all going deep.
Indians to watch this spring.
Yeah, exactly. They all homered in the bottom half of the 3rd, and we move to the top of the 4th. And here's David Ortiz. Takes a strike at the letters, 0-1. Ortiz fouled out to Napoli. His first time. Into the shift. Kipnis throws him out. 1 down here in the 4th. Moments ago, our Sam Ryan spoke with Indians manager Terry Francona.
Terry, you guys got into Rick in the 3rd inning. What are you seeing?
Well, I mean, we finally, we got some good pitches to hit, and fortunately, we did something with them. Just nice to come back. They jumped on us early. We limited the damage, and then we came back and just didn't. We're younger than them. Just nice to kind of see us fight back real quick.
Limiting the damage thanks to Tyler Naquin's arm there. How much do you think that settled Trevor down in the 2nd inning?
You know what? I don't think Trevor gets rattled. He's had a lot of innings like the 1st inning where you got to settle in and find his pitches. But then once he does, normally he's pretty good.
Thanks a lot, Terry.
You got it, Sam.
All right, thanks to Tito and Sam. As Hanley Ramirez waits and fouls it past 3rd.
Fouls it in my direction. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, shake yourself over there.
I realize I should have a glove. I'm right next to Butter.
Glenn Diamond, your producer there, certainly will take care of you. What a set of mitts on that guy.
Grew up known as Butterfingers. Butterfingers Diamond.
Yeah, you got Butterfield in the 3rd base coach's box, and you got Butterfingers over there with Calvert. Great to have Glenn back with us for this postseason ride on TBS. Upstairs, 3-1.
Yeah, I got a sense this 3-1 pitch is going to get pulled too.
There's Porcello. When you have an inning like that where you give up 3 home runs, you just honestly lost on the bench.
Ramirez goes the other way into right. That's a fair ball. Ramirez around first and will trot into second with a 1-out double. Second double of the game for Hanley.
It's another fastball up. You have to stay down and you have to stay soft with Ramirez. He can cover any pitch up in the strike zone, in or away.
Gives you an idea of his power right there. He hit that low line drive off the base of the wall like a left-hander would.
Here's Xander Bogaerts. He led off the 2nd with a comebacker to Bauer. Raking pitch and a beauty, 0-1.
Shutdown innings. His ERA is even higher in shutdown innings than it was during the regular season. And you're right. Every time one of these Red Sox hitters comes up, it's like this is an all-star team.
Cal, I know you'd appreciate that. You got a baseball academy and that kind of thing. You spent a lot of time teaching kids how to play. When Bogaerts was growing up in Aruba, you know how we learned how to hit? His uncle had an almond tree in the backyard. He'd take almonds off and play soft toss, and he would hit them with a branch. So the branch was the bat, hitting almonds off the tree in the backyard of his uncle's place.
I think there's something to be said about the finer points of your hand-eye coordination. That's hard.
95 miles an hour for strike 2. That ball probably looked like an almond. Breaking pitch in the dirt, but did he go? No. Phil Cuzzy down there at first said he did not go.
John Farrell said before the game that the Red Sox are at their best when the 6th and 7th hitters in the order, and that would be Bogaerts and Bradley, are hitting their best. Bogaerts hit .236 in September. Bradley finished 3 for 26.
With one out, Ramirez is the runner at second. Bogaerts waiting on a 2-2 from Trevor Bauer. Tried to check. He couldn't hold up that time. Cuzzy rang him up at first. 2 down.
It looked like from this side they couldn't hold it as much as he did before. His body went out there the switch before, and he had a good grip on the bat, and his angle was back. It looked like he lost control of the bat head. Looked like he went that time.
That'll bring the number 7 hitter, to your point, Ron. Jackie Bradley to the plate. Called out on strikes his first time.
You ask umpires what they judge, and we've always said, does the bat cross the plate? Does he break his wrist? They always say the same thing. Did he have intention of swinging the bat? Phil Cuzzy felt that way, and that's why he punched him out.
There has to be some leeway because you got to start the bat. You have so little time to react. But I always think if you start to lose control of the end of the bat, and whether you put the bat across the plate depends upon where you stand in the box or how big your stride is. But if you don't break your wrist or you don't lose control of the end of the bat, then I don't think that's a swing. But that last one, I thought he lost control.
Here's Jackie Bradley. You talked about the high expectations that were thrust on Jackie Bradley when he came up, and he was doing things that only legends had done when he arrived in Boston. The youngest Red Sox left fielder to start on opening day since Yaz. Drove in a run in each of his first 3 games. Jim Rice had done it. But only this year has he truly broken out.
Chase a couple pitches out of the strike zone, a little long right now. Can't catch up to the high fastball.
Ramirez short lead at second. Bradley fouls it back, and it's 1-2.
That caught the umpire, Brian Knight. Looks like it might have caught him in the clavicle, maybe the mask. Oh yeah, just off the side of the mask.
That was a much quicker swing by Bradley. He had a good pass at that one. Fouled it straight back.
Knight shakes it off. Perez and Bauer had a word. Part of that could have been professional courtesy as well. Perez knows what it feels like to get hit like Knight just did.
You watch a hitter on your fastball with a quicker swing, counter with something soft.
Like that. Did he go? Yes, he did. Paul Emmel makes the call down at third. A double by Ramirez, wasted. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Game 2 in Texas before that on TBS, and then Game 3 in both of those series Sunday with coverage beginning at 3:30 here on TBS. Bottom half of the fourth inning. Lonnie Chisenhall looks at a strike 0-1.
Sometimes you got to play mind games when you've had an inning like Rick Porcello just had. You got to say, okay, gave up 3 home runs. It doesn't matter. I'm only down by 2 runs with a team, my team, that scores tons of runs. Hold them right there. Too early to pray.
Yeah, I was going to say this, going into that mode in the fourth inning. I don't want to see her in the ninth. No balls and 2 strikes. And that didn't take long. 1 down. Before the game, Jason Kipnis talking about facing the 22-game winner with Porcello.
You attack him the same way he attacks you. You get in on him early. We know he likes to get ahead. He throws strikes. He'll give you a pitch to hit early in the count, and you meet that head on. You don't want to get to the part where you're chasing his pitches. You want to get to him early in the counts where that 1 strike he might give you over the plate and put some pressure on him on the base pass.
Here's Coco Crisp. Kipnis, as he describes facing Porcello. Porcello got the better of him his first time, struck him out. And then it was Kipnis who hit one of those 3 home runs in the 3rd inning off of Porcello. Crisp is 0 for 1. He had kind of a half swing looper to first his first time. And it's a ball and a strike.
Last pitcher to allow 3 home runs in 1 inning in the postseason. Carlos Zambrano in 2003 in Game 1 of the NLCS against the Marlins.
I bet that didn't make him hot, did it?
Some Gatorade bucket took a beating.
In the air to right. This one's going to stay in the yard. Mookie Betts squeezes it. 0-2. One of the signature moments of the season for the Cleveland Indians from the rookie Tyler Naquin against the Toronto Blue Jays off the wall. This guy's got a great arm and he's got great speed, and this is an inside the park walk-off homer. And unbridled enthusiasm. Teams need a guy like that, a guy who just in a long baseball season can infuse a team with energy.
Yeah.
Naquin does that. Trey Turner did that with the Washington Nationals. He was a first-round pick in 2012, 15th pick overall by the Indians. And he's behind in the count, 0-2.
It looks like Porcello's found his control a little bit. Got a couple breaking balls over this inning. He's staying out of the center of the plate.
We saw him on the bench. That shot was a beautiful shot. And what you do as a pitcher for those 15 or 20 minutes while you're there, while your team is hitting, it's the proverbial kicking yourself in the rear end for having such a bad inning and hoping that you can get it going again.
I mean, Ronnie, is it one of those things where you go back, what just happened? Or do you know, say, man, I made a mistake there, he punished me? Or are you sometimes kind of like, wow, how'd that happen?
I think you're just shocked. I mean, we're talking about a young man who won 22 games this year. Everything seemed to go his way. And in that inning, it did not.
I thought Kipnis' scouting report was pretty good. When somebody has that kind of control and a mix of pitches, he is going to come at you and get ahead, so you have to be ready early in the count. But today he just didn't have that control, so he ran himself into hitters counts and got the ball up.
Porcello looking for his first 1-2-3 inning. Naquin stays alive.
All solo shots in that inning kind of saved Porcello. This year didn't give up a 3-run homer or a grand slam. Saved in the sense that he's still in the hunt.
The old 56-footer, 2-2.
How many meters is that?
Next question. There's that 1-2-3 inning, 2 of them by strikeout. 4 innings in the books in Game 1 in Cleveland.
ALDS telecast on TBS is brought to you by Jaguar, the art of performance, and by Bank of America.
Top half of the 5th. Here in Cleveland, where the Indians lead Game 1 of this best-of-5, 4-2. Sandy Leon, the Red Sox catcher, leads it off against Trevor Bauer. Curveball over. This is what he does with his first warm-up every inning. Little crow hop and then guns it.
What I love is the catcher really has no interest in catching the ball.
None. Like, not even going to put the mask down. I'm just do your thing. No balls and 2 strikes. He's a different cat.
California kid, free spirit. Once asked how many pitches he has, he said 15 different ones.
Leon got a piece and stayed alive.
He's got a good curveball today.
Yes, he does.
A lot of swings at balls in the dirt, a lot of check swings, not picking it up, breaking late.
Cal, that's been the difference, right? Porcello's curveball has not been great yet, and Bauer's has been.
Porcello's his ball rolled up, stayed up in the zone, couldn't find a strike. And Trevor's curveball is really sharp, looks like a fastball low in the strike zone. And by the time you go to swing at it, it's too late.
That breaking pitch stayed upstairs. Bauer faced the Red Sox a couple of times this year. One of those a relief appearance way back in April. And he had a start against him in May in which he worked 5 innings, gave up 8 hits, 4 earned runs. Mookie Betts took him for a ride.
Well, Bauer started the season in the bullpen and was not too happy about it. And you see our starting pitchers had the head so far.
That ball's well hit. Deep right center field. Back in the gap and over the wall. And Sandy Leon has made it a 1-run game. Ball is flying out of this place tonight to right field.
Injury to Ryan Hannigan and Blake Swihart gave Sandy Leon a chance to play every day. And boy, is he taking advantage of it.
5th home run we've seen tonight, and we're playing in the top half of the 5th. Benintendi has got one of those. It came in his first postseason at bat in the 3rd.
Trevor couldn't put him away. We got ahead in the count through a couple of breaking balls, got back to 3-2 through a fastball, and Sandy was all over it.
Slow breaking pitch, and Benintendi looked at it. A ball and a strike.
It's happened more often than you think. Before Benintendi, last rookies to homer last year in their first plate appearance. Tommy Pham of the Cardinals and Michael Conforto of the New York Mets.
One ball, 2 strikes. Andrew Miller up here in the 5th inning. One of the best in the business. And the only left-hander in the bullpen for Cleveland. That ball hit to left, and Coco Crisp hauls it in for the first out.
Andrew Miller is one of the most interesting relief pitchers in all of baseball. He could close for 29 other teams. His role here in this series for the Indians is going to come out of the bullpen in the 5th inning or later and get those big outs and try to go an inning and 2/3, 2+.
Yeah, he has told Terry Francona, just use me wherever you need me. It's his 2nd time around with Terry Francona. Managed him in Boston earlier in his career.
Terry said after I left Boston, he got really good. I didn't think he was going to be that good.
Here's Pedroia.
I just think the only way the Indians are going to be able to get through this series is that every single time they get a chance, they'll get Andrew Miller in the ball game.
It was interesting, Francona talking about, I don't want to lose a ball game when I have a chance to win it early. And I was thinking, he said, I'm okay with losing it late, but I want to get my guys in there to help me win the game. And I think that's the philosophy of getting Miller in. You got a 4-3 lead. You say, okay, I have a chance to go to him. Let me go to him while we got a lead.
Almost the opposite of what we saw in the AL wild card a couple days ago.
No balls, 2 strikes to Pedroia, who waves at the breaking pitch for the 2nd out. Terry Francona on his way to the mound, and he's made up his mind. Signaling for the left-hander. Andrew Miller gets the call with 2 outs in the 5th, and the left-hand hitting Brock Holt due for the Red Sox. Bauer leaves with the lead in Game 1. Mike Sarbaugh, the 3rd base coach of the Cleveland Indians, watching one of 3 solo homers for the Indians in the 3rd. That one by Jason Kipnis. Andrew Miller on here in the 5th with 2 down. Nobody on, and 1 run in on the solo home run by Sandy Leone.
Every aspiring postseason team at the trading deadline wanted Andrew Miller, and the Indians won out, and he's become their utility relief pitcher. He'll pitch long.
With the Indians, 46 strikeouts, 2 walks. 6'7", 205 pounds of absolute filth on the mound from the left side.
He is nasty.
It's a little bit like facing Randy Johnson at times.
Yeah, you get that vibe down there a little bit, Cal, when you see him on the mound?
For sure. He feels like he's stretching out and reaching out towards you, and the distance is 60 feet. It seems like he's throwing from about 50.
He's missed with the first 2, and there's a strike.
Francona's strategy is interesting. It's almost like this is the wild card game or a 7th game. He wants to win this while he has a chance to win it. It's a 5-game series, so there is a sense of urgency, and then figure out what happens tomorrow.
It's Trevor Bauer, who worked 4 2/3. Into the gap in right center field. That ball is going to find some grass, and it's going to find the wall. And Brock Holt Greets Andrew Miller with a two-base hit.
That's the advantage of getting ahead in the count. In the hitter's count, you can cheat to the fastball a little bit. Lines it out to right center field. They were playing into left center.
Remember, really, the strength of the Indians game is how long can Miller go in this game. He's the only left-hander in their bullpen, although their other righties have great numbers against left-handed hitters.
It seems like this bullpen's more about stuff than lefty, righty, lefty, righty. Only left-hander, but he has stuff to get out both righties and lefties, and the right-handers have the same out there.
Tough customer at the plate now. Mookie Betts takes a strike. The lead is just one, and the tying run is at second for the Red Sox. Betts is 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out against Trevor Bauer.
I mean, all of Miller's numbers are off the charts, but against third place hitters this year, they batted a combined 118 off Miller.
And so third time around, the third and the fourth hitters usually have the starter kind of pegged.
The 1-1. Foul. A ball and 2 strikes.
That's why you might say that this is an important time in the order. Instead of focusing on the 8th and the 9th inning, the game could be won or lost in this inning. I think that's Francona's strategy when he brings Miller in right here.
You feel like you're going to see the wipeout slider right here. I was wrong. Tried to paint him away. Just missed.
It looked high enough from the side. It looks like a little outside of the TBS box.
2-2. Sandy Leone homered to start the inning. Cut the lead to 1. Benintendi flied out. Pedroia struck out. Terry Francona went to the pen. And Holt greeted Miller with a double. That was close.
Usually you want to work the starter's pitch count to get him out of a game. It might be more important to work Miller's pitch count to get him out of the game at some point.
Mookie Betts waiting on a payoff pitch. Here it comes, and it's inside. And the Red Sox have runners at first and second with 2 out. Take a look at tonight's playmakers presented by the all-new Chrysler Pacifica. And look at between these two teams, 2nd, 3rd, 6th, 7th, and 11th in hitting in the American League from Betts and Pedroia, Ortiz, Ramirez, and Lindor.
There's a lot of hits on that screen.
Well, we took a look at Big Papi's numbers all season long. As good as you'll ever see. His numbers against Miller have not been great. 1 for 7.
The Indians shift once again. Last time Ortiz hit it right to Kipnis in shallow right. Miller throws him a strike. 0-1. Red Sox have the tying run at second. Go ahead run at first, and a legend at the plate. Big Papi waiting. Tried to check. Paul Emmel said he did not go. Now you had a look from down there in the third base side, right, Cal?
Yeah, that was quick. I didn't think it was a swing either.
Checked his swing again. 2-1.
Miller's control so far just off a little bit.
There's a strike. See that number, 2 strike hits for Big Poppy. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miller to the plate, and he struck him out. Powered by Amazon Web Services, Roberto Perez in his first postseason at bat ever with a home run to lead off the 3rd. The first of 3 that inning, all solo.
That 3rd inning, I had a 1995 Cleveland Indians flashback. That's what it looked like then with that ball club.
Rick Porcello into the wind, comes to the plate. That ball's well hit into the corner and left. Off the wall, watch the throw. That's going to be a long single. Well played by the kid Benintendi in left. Played the carom, hustled it in. There's no chance for Perez to stretch it into a double.
Just jumped all over a first pitch fastball up in the strike zone. Again, we haven't seen a lot of sink on the ball from Porcello in this ball game.
You know, when you take a fastball and you go the other way the first time up, they can either change the pitch on you or it could come in. He went up there looking in and got it.
One infielder on the left side for the Red Sox with Santana at the plate. So the 3rd baseman, Holt, is on the right side. Pedroia, the 2nd baseman, over near the bag. Bogart's the Lone Ranger on the left side.
So you're starting to think ground ball to Holt. How does the double play get started? You got to be aware that you don't have that angle over there. So Pedroia's got to cover second base.
Just a standard 5-4-3, Cal.
In the air to left field, Benintendi took a step in, now goes back and makes the play. And look at Perez, he's going to tag. Here's the throw to second. He is in there, heads up, bold base running to get a runner into scoring position.
Cal, this is what you talked about before with this Indians team. They might not have the fastest players on the field right now. Davis is on the bench, but they run the bases well.
And I think they caught him napping a little bit. The ball carried well to left field. He was going back. The ball ends up beating him, but he forces the mistake here and gets in a scoring position.
Wow, foam the runway. He won 22 games in the regular season, the most in Major League Baseball. And his night is done here in Game 1 of the ALDS. John Farrell going to the pen with the Red Sox trailing.
Telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
We welcome you back to Cleveland. Andrew Benintendi made the catch and left. but heads up base running by Roberto Perez. What'd you think, Cal?
Yeah, it just seemed like he had a beat on it and he wasn't thinking about the possibility of tagging up. He goes back a little further and then is in a good position to catch and throw. He looks up and goes, oh no, he's running. So it did surprise him a little bit. And even though he has a strong arm and the ball gets there beforehand, it gives him a chance to actually tag up and get to second base.
I want to say that's a young mistake, but I've seen older players make that mistake. The assumption that the runner, the catcher, is not going to tag up.
Here's Jason Kipnis, struck out his first time, homered in the third. Drew Pomerantz is the second Red Sox pitcher.
Well, he was acquired earlier in the season from the San Diego Padres to fill that rotation. They needed a need there, but he pitched out of the bullpen on Sunday, his first relief appearance, and was very effective. He'll be in the bullpen in the post.
Line drive, base hit center field. Perez around third. They're going to send him. Here's the throw. It's late. And Kipnis has knocked in another run. The lead for Cleveland is 2.
If you watch Robert Perez at second, he breaks right away. He knows where the runners are. He knows where the fielders are. Comes around third base. Doesn't have the best speed. He gets a good jump, makes a good cut, and scores from second.
Terry Francona brought in his left-hander to stop this tidal wave of runs. John Farrell goes to his left-hander, and it doesn't work.
Lindor cuts right through it, 0-1. Pomerantz was originally drafted by the Indians in the first round. In 2010, he was the number 5 pick. Part of the Rockies trade that sent Ubaldo Jimenez to the Indians in 2011. You saw Ubaldo the other night, roughed up in the 11th in the wild card game as Toronto moved on. The 1-1 to Lindor. It's a big situation here for Pomerantz, and a guy who, because he was ineffective, you wondered if he was going to be on the postseason roster. He had a great appearance in the last Sunday of the year against Toronto. Looked really good in an inning and a third. That's over for a strike.
We have so many players on this ball club, on both ball clubs, making their first appearance in the postseason, including Drew Pomerantz.
He was on the roster in that wild card game for Oakland, but didn't pitch in that comeback loss against Kansas City. One of the great wild card games ever. Little pop up over there by the dugout and out of play.
Not a lot of foul territory here at Progressive Field.
Call Pomerantz a rebel if you want. He's got Ole Miss with a brother and a father and an uncle all playing for the Rebels.
The Oz Kidders who face Pomerantz. Sneaky fastball that gets on you in a hurry, and an outstanding kind of 12-6 straight over the top breaking ball.
Roberto Perez has been right in the middle of a lot of plays tonight. Made a great tag on a call that was overturned early in the game. He's homered. He's singled. He hustled to second on a fly ball to left and has scored the 5th run for Cleveland. Lindor waiting on a 2-2. Popped him up. Brock Holt calling and makes the play. Lindor turned for the dugout when he hit that and then decided to turn around and run to first.
I mean, he knew it was going to be out with the pop-up, so go to the bench. No, that's not what you got to do. You got to hustle to first. You never know if it's dropped. That I'll qualify. That's a young player's mistake.
Two down with Kipnis still at first. And here's Mike Napoli. Guy with power and a great clubhouse guy, as any number of teams will attest.
If you think Kipnis is going to run over there, you know, they're in a position to take a chance with 2 outs. But with Napoli at the plate, I want him to swing the bat. I put the hold on right now and say, don't run.
Terry Francona said if it wasn't for Napoli's presence in the clubhouse, they never would have been in the postseason. He said half the guys love him, the other half are afraid of him.
He has struck fear into the hearts of a few pitchers, too. 34 homers, 101 runs batted in. He's 0 for 2 tonight. As always, a huge cut. 0-2. Napoli almost gave up the game. His sleep apnea was so bad a few years ago he could not get a night's sleep. And he considered quitting the game and instead went for surgery where they broke his jaw, moved it around. Now he can sleep. And he can play effectively. I mean, you think about that. You think about trying to do this job in a 162-game season and you've never had a good night's sleep. They even had a sleep room in Boston for him. And before Game 6 of the World Series, when they won it in 2013, he was sleeping before that game in which the Red Sox clinched the title. Snap throw back. Just a little late.
Both these catchers, Leon and Roberto Perez, love to throw the ball around the diamond. Both have great arms.
That was a designed high fastball, which sometimes can be a good pitch out type of pitch to throw to first base if you're the catcher.
Boy, dangerous territory to keep challenging Napoli up in the strike zone. 34 home runs we described before, 22 of them coming here at Progressive Field.
You got to climb the ladder on him, even though he's a high ball pitcher, which will set up a breaking ball or two.
Pomeranz set to deliver a 1-2 to Napoli in the dirt. Not even.
You're right, Cal. Climb the ladder. Just make sure you're 1 rung up and not down.
For sure.
There's the home runs by quadrant we were talking about before. 25 of those 34. Waist up.
To left, down the line, fair ball. That's going to bounce over the wall, ground rule double, and that is going to cost the Cleveland Indians a run. Kipnis is going to have to go back to third.
He tries that fastball up again. Didn't get the full barrel on the ball, but he's so strong. But he got it enough to get it down the line for a double.
I tell you what, this warning track here in Cleveland at Progressive Field, and we've seen it before. Napoli once had a ground rule double that bounced over the high part of that wall in left field. So no surprise that with that kind of spring, this ball hopped the wall for a ground rule double.
You know, it's odd. You know, out there walking around, they have the rubber surface in foul territory, and they have a gravelly surface where outfielders can go for the ball and maybe even dive. But you would think the rubber surface would be more bouncier, but it seems like the gravel has a little more bounce.
I'm always trying to miss the umpire's ground rule meetings. I'm glad I made this one.
There's the difference. You can see the seam right there where the rubber stops and the dirt picks up.
This will be ball 4. The intentional pass to Jose Ramirez, so they're loaded for Lonnie Chisenhall. He knocked in a run his first time. Was thrown out on review at second base. And he struck out in the 4th. He's never faced Drew Pomerantz. The Indians have scored a run here in the 5th to make their lead 2, and they're trying to break it open with the bases loaded. Fouled back, count even.
You know, if you're Kipnis on third base right now, you got to be looking for the ball in the dirt or a wild pitch, but you got to be aware that the ball can bounce right back to the catcher.
We were looking at that before the game, weren't we, Cal? And part of that wall back there really gives you a spring back.
There's a couple different surfaces back there, but the ball can come back really fast right to the catcher if it hits the right spot.
Chisenhall waits on a 1-1 and takes a strike.
Chisenhall to .217 average against left-handed pitching this year. Indians are missing a big part of their team. Abraham Almonte, a switch hitter who might have hit in this situation, but had a suspension this season, which made him ineligible for the post.
Could be a meeting about changing the signs or maybe a verbal sign. Nowadays, with all the equipment to look at and analyze signs, they give them more in code than they used to. Verbal sign right there.
And he strikes out Chisenhall to end the inning. And the Indians leave them loaded. They do score once. The lead is 2. We head to the 6th. Presented by Jaguar. How about Marco Estrada of the Blue Jays today in game 1 against the Texas Rangers? Went to the ballpark in Arlington and swiped the home field advantage. Zipping right along here into the top half of the 6th inning in game 1 of this ALDS best of 5. The homestanding Indians leading 5-3 over the Boston Red Sox. 5-7-0 or 5-8-0 for Cleveland. 3-7-0 for the Red Sox. A couple of those hits for Boston coming from Hanley Ramirez, who leads it off. He's doubled twice.
You don't think a manager has to think outside the box? First time that Andrew Miller has come into a game in the 5th inning all year. He's pitched 2 innings 4 times this year, 3 of them with Cleveland.
Swung and missed. Hat fell off. 2-1.
Nice 2-0 slider. Hanley thought he was going to get a fastball.
Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Andrew Miller came on in the 5th. Gave up a double with 2 out to Brock Holt and walked Mookie Betts. Struck out Big Papi. Ramirez leads it off in the 6th. Miller was 4-0 with an ERA of $1.50 in his 26 games with the Indians. That's fouled back.
You can see why Miller's so tough, besides the fact that he just has great stuff. He throws a 2-0 breaking ball, then 2-1 fastball, comes back to 3-2 and drops a breaking ball on. So he'll throw either one of those pitches in any count.
And Ramirez counters with his 2 hits today. Now in a division series in his career, 16 for 32.
I can do that math. Steve Lake 3 call, 1 down.
Looked like Hanley didn't agree with that. Maybe a backdoor breaking ball.
There was a backdoor breaking ball. The catcher, Perez, was sitting inside. Ended up being a backdoor breaking ball in the outside corner. Got the call.
Eighth strikeout by Cleveland pitching. And here's Bogart, who looks at a strike.
He painted the outside corner there.
Indians pitchers, as this ball is fouled away, led the American League in strikeouts, nearly 9 a game. Facing a Red Sox team that didn't strike out much. But they've gone down 8 times tonight. Ball gets away. Perez throws him out to complete the strikeout. 2 up and 2 down here in the 6th. The NBA is back on TNT. Coverage starts on October 25th at 6 o'clock. Live from Cleveland, we'll be there at Quicken Loans Arena, what they call the Q, for opening night, ring night for the Cavs. It's right next door to what they used to call the Jake, which they now call Progressive Field. Always kind of like that name, playing at the Jake. Jackie Bradley Jr.
Last night we all watched an amazing game where Madison Bumgarner with a complete game, Syndergaard with 7 scintillating innings. Both starting pitchers combined only made it to 9 innings. 4 2/3 for the Cleveland starter Bauer, 4 1/3 for Porcello.
And if you had Connor Gillespie in the pool that says who's going to be the guy who knocks in the game-winning run, what a dramatic moment for that guy. And it's that even number year again, San Francisco. Look out for the Giants. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jackie Bradley, who has struck out twice. Popped up behind second. Lindor waves everybody away and squeezes it. 1-2-3 inning for Andrew Miller. Middle of the 6th in game 1.
On TBS is brought to you by the well-equipped 2017 Mitsubishi Outlander. And join the over 1 million small business customers who prevail with the Hartford.
Coco Crisp leading him off in the bottom of the 6th against Drew Pomerantz, who came on in the 5th in relief of Rick Porcello.
Pomerantz was so effective for San Diego before the trade. Only an 8-7 record, but with a San Diego Padres team was struggling. Great ERA at 2.47. But really struggled with the Red Sox over 13 starts. ERA 4.5. That's pitching coach Carl Willis.
Crisp is 0 for 2, and that's in tight.
Easy to say, add-on runs. Hard to do.
Pomerantz strikes him out to start the bottom half of the 6th. Been hearing Cal Ripken with us all night long, and there's the view from Cal Cam down there, third base side.
Pretty good seat, huh?
Yeah, I thought they had a GoPro on your melon or something, but I guess it's just a regular camera down there.
A GoPro might be a good idea. See where I'm looking.
Pinch hitter is going to be Rajay Davis for Tyler Naquin. Naquin was 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts in his postseason debut. Davis came out swinging out of his shoes.
.43 stolen bases for Davis this year. Gives you a little more speed in the outfield.
Pomerantz to the plate with the 0-2, and he struck him out on 3 pitches. Now here is an unexpected star of this game out of the number 9 hole for Cleveland, and it's Roberto Perez, who homered, and after a single, he doesn't get any style points, but he got his way to second on the fly ball and then never hesitated. Scoring on the Jason Kipnis RBI single. So he's 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored, including a home run in his postseason debut. And he made a great sweep tag at the plate in the first inning on a play in which originally Brock Holt had been ruled safe, but the Indians challenged. They looked at it in Chelsea and reversed it out at the plate.
Naquin to Lindor to Perez, who made an unbelievable tag.
He's had a really good all-around game.
He was a 33rd round draft pick in 2008. 1,010 players were selected before he was. Strike 3 called. He knew it, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. He struck out the side. Did Pomerantz? We're heading to the 7th. Tonight's 2016 American League Division Series coverage on TBS is presented by T-Mobile. And when we say coverage, we mean coverage of everything that moves in the ballpark, including the condiment race.
I hope that's not a sign the Red Sox are trying to play catch up here.
Hope catch up winning the race. Oh, clever. Stop it.
That's Smoltzian.
We move to the 7th inning. Andrew Miller still on there in relief of Trevor Bauer. He came on in the 5th.
33 pitches now for Miller. Season high 36.
8-9-1 due for the Red Sox. Leon, the switch hitting catcher, turns around to swing right-handed against Miller. He homered from the other side in the 5th. Rajay Davis, new center fielder, as he came on and hit for Tyler Naquin. Red Sox have gotten home runs out of the 8 and 9 hitters tonight. Leon in the 5th. Benintendi in the third.
Miller might get more swing and misses than both starters got in their time out there.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Wouldn't chase, count even. Cleveland was 69-5 when leading after 6 innings. Best mark in the American League. Miller throws a strike to first, 1 down.
And I don't think we can overlook, you mentioned in the beginning, Ernie, about getting the home field advantage on the last weekend of play. They have played so great in this ballpark.
Thing is, the Boston Red Sox did not lead the division going into September. Toronto did, but the Red Sox had an 11-game winning streak. They were absolutely unbeatable, but finished the year losing 5 out of 6. While Cleveland went to Kansas City, swept the Royals, and assured themselves the home field for this best of 5.
You know, Francona said he thought that was a big thing because of the inexperience in playing in postseason. At least you get off at home where you're comfortable, and maybe you get a game under your belt and sneak one because of the home field advantage.
He managed in Fenway. He knows how that can overpower some teams.
The 0-2. He strikes out Benintendi for out number 2.
And then he thought it was 3 outs.
He tried to play it off, though.
Well, he hasn't gone more than 2 innings since 2011, but how effective were those 2?
4 strikeouts. He leaves with the Indians on top, and 2 out in the 7th. Game 2 of the Toronto Blue Jays Texas Rangers series, followed by Game 2 of the Red Sox and Indians starting at 1 o'clock tomorrow on TBS. Brian Anderson, Joe Simpson, Dennis Eckersley on the call from Arlington, where the Blue Jays absolutely dominated Game 1 over the Rangers, 10-1 today. So Andrew Miller's night is over, and Brian Shaw is on, and no American League relief pitcher appeared in more games than this guy.
He's never appeared in less than 70 games for this Tribe team since 2013. What a job by Miller. 40 pitches of work.
Shaw will face Dustin Pedroia with the bases empty and 2 out. Pedroia has doubled and scored, and he's struck out twice, and he takes ball 1.
Shaw has appeared in the postseason with Arizona and Cleveland. 5 2/3 innings of work. He's never given up a run.
Well hit right off the chest of Napoli, who tosses to Shaw for the out. 1, 2, 3, 7th. They've been screaming all night here. Now it's time for them to stretch. It's Game 1 on TBS. Game summary is presented by Geico. It's 5-3 Indians in the middle of the 7th. They have used the long ball, 3 of them. 3 solos in the 3rd. Trevor Bauer gave him 4 innings and change, and then Andrew Miller, a Swiss Army knife of relievers. He can pitch anywhere in any situation, comes on and is effective. What do you make of game one, Ronnie?
Well, I think we see Terry Francona. He's tipped his hand. He's not going to let his starters go. Maybe Kluber tomorrow. That's the strength of his team. But the rest of the starters are going to have a short leash. He's going to go to Miller as much as he can in this series, and he proved him right with his 2 innings of brilliant work.
Cal, tell me what you think of the first 6.5.
Well, I was just thinking along the same lines as Ronnie was talking about. Can you really save a game in the 5th and the 6th inning? And Andrew Miller might be proving that you can. Third time around for the meat of that order, he came in and took care of him, and now they got a 2-run lead. So you do different things in the playoffs. You extend your closer. And we've seen Tony La Russa kind of go more innings in his bullpen, in the past than his starters. We might be seeing something new here with Andrew Miller pitching in the middle part of the game where the game can be decided.
Rick Porcello started for Boston, 22-game winner, most in the majors. He was chased after 4 1/3. Drew Pomerantz relieved him and is still in there as he moved to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Top of the order, Carlos Santana, the switch hitter, turns around and swings him right-handed against the lefty Pomerantz.
Pomerantz being asked to go extra time too out there in relief.
2 balls and no strikes. It's a 2-run game here in the bottom of the 7th. Indians on top 5-3. Joe Kelly getting loose for the Red Sox. Santana was hit by a pitch his first time. Rounded out in the 3rd and flied out in the 5th.
Drew thought he had a strike on that pitch.
To 3rd. Brock Holt throws him out. 1 down. Jason Kipnis comes to the plate. Let's go down to Sam Ryan.
Yeah, home run and RBI single so far in the game tonight for Jason Kipnis. Now, he joked with me before the game that he was still looking for his first postseason hit going into this one. Played in the 2013 AL wildcard game, went 0 for 4 in that one. He said he tried to do too much in that one, just put too much pressure on himself, knowing that that was just one game, a must-win game, and much more relaxed going into this one, guys.
Thank you, Sam. Strikeout in the 1st, homer in the 3rd, RBI single in the 5th. And that came off Pomerantz. He was the first hitter he faced.
Yeah, I was just sitting from the side watching him lay his bat back as sort of a trigger. Sometimes that is to know where your hands are. Maybe get your hands up too high. And now he is more conventional, kind of lifts it up so he has his hands in the right firing position.
Missed again, 3-0.
It's a little unorthodox. So remember, laying the bat like that back there, trying to stop from wrapping the bat was the reason that I started to do it. But this seems like it's more to find his firing position with his hands.
Pomerantz shaking out that left arm in between pitches, wondering if he's at the end of his rope.
He's battled back from 3-0. Count full. Kipnis, go ahead.
That was a super quick swing right there. Had a good pass at that on the 3-1 pitch.
Line drive, base hit. Kipnis on with 1 down.
It seems like how compact, very little movement with his front side. Stays on the ball to hit to left field. Nice piece of hitting.
You know, Kipnis gets lost sometimes because of all the great years second basemen have had in the American League, whether it's Pedroia here, Altuve, Brian Dozier with the home runs. Kipnis can play with all of them.
Played in 156 games, too. Huge factor for this team as Lindor swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. And just out of play. The Indians homered 3 times in the 3rd inning, 3 solo shots, and this was Lindor right after Kipnis had homered.
Well, Francisco Lindor, at 22 years old, second youngest Cleveland player to hit a home run in the postseason. Struble Cabrera was 21 in 2007.
Kipnis with a lead at first. And Lindor takes way upstairs. Ball and a strike.
Did I read that right? 347 at home. That's some good home cooking.
You know, the Cleveland offense, and that's the reason they were 52 and 38, or 53 and 28. Sorry, is that they average 5.5 runs a game at home, only a little over 4 on the road.
And your eyes didn't deceive you. That's the number for that home batting average, 3rd in the American League. Breaking pitch over for a strike. Ball and 2 strikes.
It's another reason for home field advantage.
Kipnis a runner at first with 1 down here in the bottom half of the 7th. To the plate comes Pomerantz, and Lindor taps it foul.
Well, Kipnis has gotten a couple of hits off Pomerantz. That one hit when he first came in to drive in Roberto Perez. But Pomerantz has been outstanding to hold Boston into this game. Remember, we came in talking about their explosive offense.
Lindor waiting on a 1-2. Here it comes. Tried to check his swing. And that is strike 3. John Farrell on his way out. Mike Napoli is due, and there's no way the left-hander Pomerantz is going to face Napoli, is there? No, there is not. Saw Machine Gun Kelly getting ready to come on as they go to the pen in the 7th. We welcome you back. StatCast is powered by Amazon Web Services. The tail of the tape on those 3 solo jacks by the Indians in the 3rd inning.
That's the first time in Rick Porcello's career that he's ever given up 3 home runs in 1 inning.
Perez, Kipnis, and Lindor doing the damage. There's Joe Kelly.
Well, he's got some experience in the postseason. This will be his 12th game in the post. He has started 4 games, but he's going to have to be careful with Mike Napoli on this first pitch. Napoli on the first pitch this year is batting .426 when he puts it in play, with 9 home runs. Here comes the heater.
Missed with it, 1-0.
But it was 95, Ernie. 95.
Your favorite.
Cal, if you had been a pitcher, you just would have wanted to throw as hard as you could every time.
For sure.
1 ball, no strikes. Napoli waiting as Kipnis leads at first. Missed on the outside edge, 2-0.
Mr. Napoli likes hitting 95 and 96 in 2-0 counts.
He's 1 for 3, had a ground rule double in the 5th.
The ball was head high.
And he got the bat head out.
He did.
Wow.
It's like a Mike Tyson punch. Evil intentions when he swings a bat.
Look for it high, let it fly.
Two one. Down even 2-2 as he fouls it straight back.
Kelly has always had a great arm. Coming up with the Cardinals, here with the Red Sox. Hasn't completely put it together yet.
Kelly with a 2-2 to Napoli. In the dirt. 3-2, and again the snap throw back just a hair late.
You were talking about those late losses by the Red Sox that cost them home field advantage. Well, one of them is when Joe Kelly came in against Mark Teixeira, who hit that grand slam home run and great comeback by the Yankees against the Sox.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Kipnis can get a jump at first. He's on the move. Here's the pitch, and Napoli cuts right through it for out number 3. Joe Kelly comes on, strikes out the Indians' cleanup hitter. 7 innings in the books in game 1 of this series, and the Indians lead it by 2. Now, your baseball's #1 fan, use hashtag #UnlimitedBaseball for a free MLB shop gift code and the chance to win tickets to every 2017 World Series game. Now that's what I call a contest. 2, 3, 4 hitters due for the Red Sox in the top of the 8th. They trail the Indians 5-3. Rock Holt leads it off.
Holt's had a nice game so far with a couple of hits, and Brian Shaw big out in the bottom of the top of the 7th. Has to do a little more here in the 8th inning.
Holt, Betts, and Ortiz do.
I wish I could explain to you how great it is to have a guy like Shaw, who I said has thrown at least 70 games or more the last 4 years. A dependable reliever who doesn't get hurt and loves to take the baseball.
Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shaw was part of that deal that brought Trevor Bauer, tonight's starter, over. 9-player trade. Didi Gregorius was in it. Shin-Soo Choo, Drew Stubbs. Matt Albers came over. 2-2. The right-hander to the plate.
Remember, it's been kind of an odyssey for the Red Sox at third base. Pablo Sandoval lost the job to Travis Shaw out of spring training. Sandoval hurt himself. They've been looking to see who's the best replacement. Holt has won that out.
In the air to right, pretty well hit. Keep your eye on it. Back to the track, to the wall, and it's gone. Brock Holt with a solo homer to lead off the 8th, and it's a 1-run game.
Cal, there is no wind blowing as far as the flags are concerned, but everything in the air to right is getting out of the ballpark.
Yeah, I wasn't sure he got this one. We got up in the air, and you're right. Sometimes the flags don't tell the story. Ball is carrying. It's really warm here right now. The ball generally carries well when it's warm. That ball got out of here by a lot.
It's a 5-4 game, and here is Mookie Betts, who takes high 1-0.
All 6 home runs tonight solo shots. How big is that tag at first base by Roberto Perez to get to second base before the hit by Kipnis? JV knows ball was flying in Cleveland.
A couple different types of tags. Perez's tag on Holt at the plate turns out to be a big play now as well.
Got it.
Ruled on the field safe, challenged by the Indians, overturned. Didn't mean to, couldn't pull the trigger and fouled it back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mookie Betts is 0 for 2. He did walk in the 5th, and he struck out his first time and grounded out to short in the 3rd.
Shaw's going to try to get by Betts. I think it's the last hitter he faces.
Popped him up. Who wants it? The pitcher is going to catch a pop-up.
Nice.
Stop the game. Give him the ball. You don't see that very often.
He did absolutely the right thing. It wasn't hit high enough for the corners to get in and call him off.
Yeah, nobody called right off the bat.
And he took charge, which is what he's supposed to do. Nice play.
So with 1 out and a run in the 8th, Brian Shaw departs. Terry Francona going back to the pen. We'll be back. Tonight's reliever spotlight is presented by the Hartford. Since August 1st, you look at these numbers out of that Cleveland pen. You've already seen Andrew Miller and Brian Shaw tonight. Cody Allen is their closer, has not had a 5-out save this season, but Terry Francona is going to ask him to do it tonight in Game 1 of the ALDS.
Well, you see the reliever spotlight since August 1st, presented by Hartford. You've seen what they've done and how they finished so strong. Allen's got good numbers against left-handed hitters, better than Brian Shaw. 2 4-out saves this season. Did not have a 5-out save this season.
Terry Francona's pulling out all the stops. Stretches out Andrew Miller. And now going to ask 5 outs from his closer.
As we mentioned earlier, only 1 left-hander in that Cleveland pen. Andrew Miller, he's been used, and so Cody Allen, the righty, will face David Ortiz. He's got a great curveball, 12-6. He starts him off with the breaking pitch and missed 1-0.
Big Papi 1 for 5 career against Allen. The shift is on.
A 1-0. Came inside with it and missed again. 2-0. Brock Holt opened the inning with a solo home run. Mookie Betts popped out to the pitcher. That was it for Allen, and that was it for Shaw, giving way to Allen, the 4th Cleveland pitcher here in the 8th.
Allen's had 1 5-out save in his career last year.
The 2-1. Missed again. 3 balls and a strike.
There was a time where conventional wisdom, you never pitched a home run hitter inside late in the game when you're ahead by 1, but Big Papi has so much power to all fields. Try not to let him get extended.
Didn't throw him a fastball in 2-0. Let's see what he does 3-1.
Threw him a fastball at 95. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Whoa. What are you throwing, Ronnie?
I'd go back with the good curveball. It's his best pitch.
Line to the gap in right center field. That is off the wall. Ortiz around first. Here's the throw to second. It's going to be close, and he's in there. The big guy legged out a double.
Big Papi hits an absolute laser to right center field. He's going because he knows it's in the gap. Doesn't make a good round of first base, but he kicks it all in he's got and beats the tag to second base.
Those 40-year-old legs.
Terry Francona wants to take a look at it. Remember, in the post, these managers have an extra challenge.
Woo, that was close. I'd like to see that again.
They're going to take several looks at it in Chelsea, I guarantee you.
Well, remember, in the umpire's defense, they don't get to check it twice. I thought he might have got that little toe in there.
Yep, I think so too. This angle's not as clear.
I think he's safe at second base.
It's definitely not enough to overturn it.
I can't say that I ever put on my scouting report today that David Ortiz hustle play was going to be a big part of this game. Safe at second, and Cal held the bag.
I was going to say it, but I'll let you guys say it. I was thinking Big Papi might have started sliding too soon.
I mean, just knowing the situation, this is a 40-year-old man, guys. It's interesting, the 3-1 cut was Ruthian trying to take the ball out of the ballpark. The 3-2 swing, much more controlled, and he hit a line drive.
Let's take a look at this angle.
Good call.
There's the answer from the replay center. He is safe at second, and he represents the tying run with 1 out here in the 8th. And Marco Hernandez will run for Big Papi.
What an at-bat. But boy, had a lifetime of what an at-bat for Big Papi. Game gets later, game gets tighter, he gets better. Two hard jobs in baseball, coming in to be a defensive replacement and coming in to pinch run.
Hernandez made his big league debut this year. Cubs had him originally, traded him to the Red Sox for Felix Dubronin, the winner of 14. He's the tying run at second with Hanley Ramirez at the plate. Only 1 down here in the 8th.
Only one skinny at bat against Allen for Ramirez without a hit.
Pours in a strike at 95, 0-1.
You go ahead and pinch run for Big Papi right here because you're down by 1 run. If it would have been a tie game right here, you wouldn't take that big bat out of the lineup.
Ramirez is 2 for 3. He's got a couple of doubles.
This is what you were talking about before the game, Cal. This lineup, relentless, top to bottom.
The 40-year-old legs of David Ortiz replaced by the 24-year-old pair of Marco Hernandez. He leads at second. Ramirez steps out.
The Red Sox made their great run when they swept the Yankees, and Hanley Ramirez had 4 home runs in that series. Since August 27th, he's hit 14 home runs.
When they were putting together that 11-game winning streak, which included a sweep of the Yankees, it was his home run. The straightaway center field off Dylan Betances. That was one of those wins of 11 in a row. No balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes.
Well, Hanley's seeing the ball really well. He took a swing on an 0-2 pitch like it's a 2-0 pitch.
In the dirt, and look at the great play by Perez to keep that in front and keep that tying run from moving to third, where a fly ball could tie the game.
What a game Perez is having tonight. Nasty breaking ball in the dirt. Runs up his left arm and keeps it in front so Hernandez can't advance.
Just trying to make himself even bigger back there. Get a piece of it.
Seems like the outfield has shortened up a little bit. They're taking a chance on trying to cut the run off of the plate. Hanley's got good power. He hit the ball over the right fielder and the center fielder's head.
Hanley hit his 30th home run in the last game on Sunday. 9 of his home runs this year have gone to right field, where the ball is just jumping here at Progressive Field.
Tried to paint the corner and missed to even the count at 2-2.
You're going to get Hanley. He's got a little hole up and in, and a breaking ball out of the strike zone. Anything up and away is his strength.
Allen with the 2-2. Grounded to second. Kipnis throws him out. Hernandez moves to third with 2 out. StatCast presented by Amazon Web Services and the max speed.
I got to bet you my house weren't going to do StatCast on the speed of Ortiz tonight. I'll tell you that.
.9 seconds.
He's ready for the NFL Combine.
Tying run now at third. It's Marco Hernandez and Xander Bogaerts at the plate with 2 down.
It's worth mentioning before the game, John Farrell said that his offense goes as his 6th and 7th hitters go. Bradley and Bogaerts up now 0 for 6 in this game.
And 4 strikeouts between them.
I'm sure Brian Butterfield told Hernandez, anticipate the ball in the dirt. You got to be willing to score.
Just outside, 1-0. Bogaerts bounced back to the mound and struck out twice. He's got a chance to tie the game with a base hit. The 1-0. Waved at it. A ball and a strike.
Bogaerts only has 1 hit against Allen, but it's home run. Trevor Bauer, the starter. Seeds and a view.
1-1 pitch. Got him the fish, 1-2.
It's a combination of a really good breaking ball and also a little jumpiness from Bogaerts.
One for his last 11 with runners in scoring position for Bogaerts. '81, 2 strike hits for Xander.
Hauled off out of play.
Well, this is the battle. Xander Bogaerts with 81, 2 strike hits. An opponent's batting .091 against Allen with 2 strikes.
Here comes the 1-2 in the dirt, and again Perez got the chest on it. 2-2.
Catchers know when they call the breaking ball that it's a good chance it's going to be on the dirt, but still, this one landed what, 8 feet in front of the plate?
Has that spin where the ball bounces back a little bit, perfect angle, took it off the chest protector. Hernandez was ready though. He's got a little bit bigger secondary lead. He was coming forward when the ball went in the dirt.
Hernandez running at third for Ortiz, who doubled. Tying run 90 feet away in the 8th inning of game 1. Breaking pitch fouled away.
Cross up there. Perez going out, crossed up with Allen there. He was expecting the fastball, got the breaking ball.
Can't have a cross up here.
You know, it's surprising. No one's on second base. How can you cross someone up? But there, Perez put down the fastball. And when he went to the breaking ball, Allen almost went to the stretch in between the pitches that were called. Fastball away. No sign.
Did he go? Strike 3, end of inning. The tying run stranded 90 feet away. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Like that one that's been sitting there in the screen. Stay tuned after the game for the postseason show on TBS presented by the Lincoln Motor Company. Casey Stern, Pedro Martinez, Gary Sheffield, Jimmy Rollins.
That ball, like this game, in limbo. Koji Uehara in for the Red Sox. Struggled in the first half, ERA near 5, 4.81. ERA in the second half, 0.
Jose Ramirez leads it off. Lays down a bunt, but that's going to be foul.
Good thought there by Ramirez. This is the kind of inning as a ball club, you're just trying to play for 1 run. Love to score more than that, but trying to play for 1.
Talk about Big Papi David Ortiz playing at the age of 40. Koji Uehara is 41. Rounded up the middle. Pedroia on the ground makes the stop. No chance to get him. Ramirez aboard with a leadoff single here in the 8th. This is between innings, and Big Papi wants to have a word with Marco Hernandez, who pinch ran for him.
Well, that's why he's beloved, not only by people that have played against him, baseball fans in general, but mostly by his teammates. Good enough to still play at such a high level, and good enough to teach at this level too.
Lonnie Chisenhall with Ramirez at first. Swinging and fouling it back, 0-1.
Chisenhall, 3 sacrifices this year. Maybe got 1 pitch to swing at there by Terry Francona. And then maybe now they'll put the sack bunt on.
He's taking a long look at Mike Sarbaugh, the third base coach.
So I always like to look at the signs and the runner, and then also the first base coach, just Sandy Alomar, to see if there's any signs of a confirmation of a bunt or a play.
Gave no indication there as he took inside. Ball and a strike.
Cal, can you put the hit and run on here?
People don't like to use the hit and run anymore, but yes, I like it. I like it with a lead. I like taking the chance. If you hit a ground ball, you got a chance to advance the runner.
Uehara with a quick snap throw over there, and Ramirez had to get back in with the dive.
Uehara's a good athlete, quick move. Only given up 1 stolen base this year on 1 attempt.
You see Chisenhall after the throw over, he kind of squared like he was going to bunt, but I think that was just a deke.
Rounded up the middle, Pedroia to second for 1 and to first for 2. Chisenhall grounds into a double play. 2 down in the 8th.
Pedroia traps it, gives a nice flip. A nice, easy, perfect turn.
Cal, that ball came up a little on Pedroia, but, you know, great fundamentals, 2 hands.
He got himself in a good position where he could react to that little ball, that little bad hop. Trapped it against the top part of his glove. He still had a nice transfer and release.
Looking ahead to the top half of the 9th, 7-8-9 due for the Red Sox. Down 1. Coco Crisp takes inside 1-0. Crisp is 0 for 3.
Allen has thrown 19 pitches so far. 37 is his high this year.
A ball and a strike.
Uehara, who was such a huge part of that championship for the Red Sox in 2013.
Red Sox pitching has recorded 12 strikeouts tonight, and Crisp ran up trying to lay one down, had Brock Holt on the dead run from third.
Uehara doesn't throw hard, but he hides the ball well, surprises hitters, and of course his best pitch is his split finger.
To first. Oh, what a play by Hanley Ramirez, who hasn't played the position until this season. And he just saved extra bases. 8 innings in the books. 1-run game as the Red Sox come to the plate in the 9th. 2016 American League Division Series coverage on TBS presented by T-Mobile. Got some auxiliary seating here at Progressive Field. 37,763. The place that normally holds a little over 35. And they have watched the Indians come to the 9th inning, leading by 1. Michael Martinez, the new center fielder. Rajai Davis moves from center to left.
So all of Francona's moves, he's got him perched with a lead in the 9th with the closer on the mound.
Cody Allen trying to nail it down. Jackie Bradley Jr. No balls and 1 strike. That missed. Count even.
94 wins for the Indians this year. 82-1 when leading after 8.
7, 8, and 9. Jackie Bradley has done nothing at the plate tonight. 8 and 9 have been effective, though.
A little extra adrenaline on that pitch. 95 miles an hour, right past him.
I think he's going to elevate another fastball just a little higher.
Bradley is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. The on-deck hitter, Sandy Leon, the catcher, homered in the 5th. And the number 9 man, Andrew Benintendi, homered in the 3rd. Here comes the 1-2. Sails high. Count even.
All those high fastballs can set up a breaking ball in the dirt. What's the call? Stays with a fastball.
Bradley strikes out for out number 1. Got him at 94. Here comes Leon, who's got a solo homer in the 5th inning to his credit tonight.
On a high fastball, a pitch that Bradley just missed.
Dozen strikeouts by Cleveland pitching.
I'm sure Pedroia is sitting there thinking, come on, somebody get on base. I need another shot at it. They don't have 2 on deck circles, but it seems like Dustin wants there to be.
Swung and missed at that breaking pitch to even the count at 1-1.
You can really see the game plans of facing hitters. Bradley, go after him with the hard stuff. Leon, try not to give him a fastball to hit.
Breaking pitch again.
With a tendency, you want to get it all back at one time. You really got to be disciplined in these situations. Don't expand the strike zone. Get yourself in a good count to hit in.
You're right, Cal. Hasn't thrown him a strike yet. He's ahead 1-2.
Two and two. Indians were tied with the Rangers for the best home record in the American League this year. 53-28. Texas lost at home in game 1 of their ALDS series today. Indians trying to hold serves. Strike 3, ball gets away, but not far enough. Perez gonna run him down and lay the tag. To heck with a toss to first. 2 guys lumbering up the line.
Great breaking ball in the dirt. Good block by Perez. And he's letting us all know. Have you been watching me all night? I've been using my speed all night long. And a tap on the backside.
Andrew Benintendi is the Boston final hope. And the curveball over for strike 1. In Benintendi's first postseason at bat, he homered in the 3rd. He's also flied out and struck out. And they are making a racket here. Well hit, base hit into right. The kid delivers a 2-out single to keep the Red Sox alive and bring the top of the order and Dustin Pedroia to the plate.
Napoli playing on the line, Cal.
Yeah, Gardner gets the double. I don't know if he'd have had that anyway, but you'll give up the single.
Benintendi, ice water in his veins.
Here's Pedroia. 0-1. Pedroia doubled and scored in the first. Struck out in the third and the fifth. Rounded out in the seventh.
Ladies still praying, Ernie.
From the fourth inning on. The 0-1. Not even.
34 pitches now for Cody Allen. 37 is the season high. Terry Francona has pushed this bullpen as far as you can push it.
Benintendi with the lead at first. Pedroia tried to hold up. It's strike two.
Home plate umpire Brian Knight with the call.
They looked down at first. There was no call coming. Knight made the call. 1-2. Indians a strike away from taking game one.
It looked like Dustin was cheating for the fastball in the first pitch, hit it off the end. I was hunting for that fastball there and just couldn't hold up. Wanted to break him all in the dirt.
And Perez calls time.
You know, those check swings in the dirt are a good indication. You're just running a little high. You're not letting the ball come to you. You want to go get it. And then you get fooled and can't hold up.
This is not a bad time for a catcher and a pitcher meeting. You know, of course, this pitch is so important. You want to be on the same wavelength. And not only you want the pitch you're going to throw here, but if it isn't effective, he doesn't swing at it, what's your next pitch? Dan Otero up in the bullpen for the Indians.
Cody Allen, Dustin Pedroia. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here it comes. Breaking pitch fouled back. Pedroia, one of the all-time great battlers that you will ever see. The runner at first, Andrew Benintendi. A 2-out single. Pedroia takes high. 2-2.
What a battle by Dustin.
Did you see Perez right there? He calls for a fastball away and then taps the dirt in case there's anyone sort of giving signs. I don't know where they'd come from.
Anything that works here, Cal. That's a changeup sign. Hasn't thrown one yet.
Missed high, 3-2. They checked down there at first. Bill Cuzzy said no swing, and he got it right.
Looked like just a high curveball, high breaking ball from Allen right there. That was the most pitches he's thrown all year. That was his 38th.
Another bad one here.
Fastball
Puts
away.
the tying run in scoring position. The 3-2.
Dangerous pitch to throw to Pedroia. Remember, his first time up, he got a fastball away. Hit it to right field for a double, and with Benintendi running on the 3-2 count. Dangerous pitch.
Yeah, you get a running start here on 3-2. When the count goes from 2-2 to 3-2, a double can definitely score him.
Pedroia had 74 hits this year with 2 strikes, 1 tonight, and 5 home runs.
we await another payoff pitch. Tying run at first. 2 down.
Going outside again.
Hey, listen, I'm not pitching and I'm not sure.
Well, Dustin can't be sure that he's not getting the breaking ball. He's got to wait a little longer.
Well, you can't come up and in. That's his home run pitch. But the way the ball's jumping out, they've changed it to the breaking ball.
Strike 3. Pedroia strikes out to end the game. They asked for help because he rang him up.
Don't like that call at all. Nothing to take away from the Indians. What a job they did tonight with their bullpen, managing. But I don't like that call at all to end the game.
Yeah, I don't think he swung.
Pedroia had his say. John Farrell trying to keep him somewhat under control.
Went a little further than we thought.
You just hate to see a game like this game end like that.
I changed my mind, Ronnie. I think he did go.
Okay. John Farrell protecting, doesn't want to lose one of his great players for any time in this series.
In a real battle in the 9th between a closer and a hitter so tough as Pedroia. What a battle. And it's Cody Allen who wins that one, and the Indians who win game 1.
6 solo home runs by both clubs tonight. And the decision, I think, that changed the game was to take Bauer out, Trevor Bauer out, with 1 out left in the 5th inning, bring in Andrew Miller, who pitched the biggest 2 innings of this game.
Let's go down to the field and Sam Ryan.
Ernie, Roberto Perez, his first postseason career at bat, a home run off Rick Porcello. Describe that moment.
Oh, unbelievable feeling. I think you know, before the game, I was talking to Napoli. He had a lot of experience in the playoffs, so he was telling me, don't try to do too much, just try to put the ball in play, good ABs, and good things will happen.
Early in the 1st inning, limiting the damage. We scored it 8-6-2. Brock Holt out at home. How did it play out to you?
I mean, Naquin, he made a good reel. He cut off the ball pretty good, and then he just threw it to Lindor, and Lindor make a good throw. So I was able to tag him, so that was really huge for us in that inning.
Terry went to the bullpen early. You saw the 40 pitches from Cody Allen. Andrew Miller coming out of the bullpen in the 5th. A couple of innings, 4 strikeouts. How good was his stuff tonight?
Oh, he's unbelievable. I think he is one of the nicest guy I ever caught. And I think everybody's confident about him coming into the game. Oh, man, he was awesome tonight.
Roberto, congratulations.
Thank you.
Back up to you guys.
He was all over this field tonight. So many situations where he was pivotal.
You know, he was. His running, his tagging of runners, his ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark. But I think if you had an advantage for the Red Sox, it was that you had a 22-game winner going against Trevor Bauer. He had his shortest outing of the season, and he gave up 3 home runs in an inning for the first time in his career.
And now the Indians with the series lead, and Corey Kluber, their ace, going in game 2 tomorrow afternoon. Final score, Cleveland 5, Boston 4. For Ron Darling, Cal Ripken, Sam Ryan, and the rest of the crew, this is Ernie Johnson saying goodnight from Cleveland. After a quick break, stay tuned for the postseason show on TBS, presented by the Lincoln Motor Company. TBS, your exclusive home for the American League postseason. Send you to Atlanta right after this.